So this video is about the wear and tear of my Chanel classic flap in the lambskin. A lot of people believe that the Chanel lambskin are very fragile and it's difficult to maintain. When I search online, there's a lot of videos on YouTube that talks about wear and tear on the lambskin, maybe at the 6-month mark, or 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years. But there are not a lot of videos on the 5-year or beyond. Therefore, I think doing a video showing, a 5-year-old Chanel bag in the lambskin would be a really good idea. So I purchased this handbag around 2014. It's almost 5 years old. Because it's lambskin, it is easier to get scratches compared to the caviar or calfskin leather handbag. However, any surface scratches can be easily buffed out using our fingers and a bit of natural, our natural oil. Surface scratches can be easily buffed out. But however, because it's prone to scratches, basically, therefore I tend to be a bit careful with this handbag. I don't use it on a daily basis. I mainly take it out maybe once a month, going to a wedding, a nice dinner, functions, etc. So first of all, this is the front of the handbag. There's not much artificial surface scratches or deep scratches at all on the front of the leather. The front, the quilting is still really puffy. There's no deflating at all. Now this is the side. Again, the side looks perfect, no scratches. This is the back. Again, I don't see any scratches or scuffs. This is on the other side. In terms of corner wear, I don't see any corner wear. On the other side, the corner is still very good. The bottom of the bag is still looks good. In terms of the hardware, the CC lock, there's a little bit of artificial slight scratches that it's hard to see on the camera, but under the direct sunlight you can see some hairline scratches just from opening and closing the lock. On the inside, this metal plate, it looks good. Don't see any scratches. The inner flap, again, no scratches, anything, looks really good. On the second flap, you can see this indentation, which is caused by the zipper pull over here when you when the bag is closed, and this is just natural. This is how, because of how the bag is designed, this is not preventable. As even on a new bag, when you close it like that, the zipper pull is going to make an indent on this inner flap. So there's nothing you can do to avoid it. However, when storing it, you can put a piece of felt over here, cover here, so when you close it, to avoid this zipper pull to touch this inner flap. But otherwise, this inner flap, again, minimal wear and tear. On the inside, the interior leather, again, I don't see any scratches. However, there's a bit of wrinkling around the CC stitching due to opening and closing the bag, but that is just normal wear and tear. Now on the inside of the handbag, again, I would say minimal wear and tear. Everything looks really good. Don't see any scratches. I do use key holder, you know, wallet. I don't have anything loose or sharp that's, you know, inside my Chanel handbag, so that's why you don't see much scratches at all on the interior of my handbag. I don't keep pen or anything loose makeup product in there, just to avoid, you know, stains or anything on the interior of my handbag. There's some wear and tear on this flap, so it feels this. You see, there's a bit of scratches over here that just from taking my phones in and out on this pocket over here. There's also a bit of loose. You can feel a bit of loose structure over here just from opening and grabbing stuff like that to access to get into the interior of the handbag, the main compartment. So there's a bit of loose structures over here. Now looking at the chains still looks really good. It's still very glossy. The leather that's intertwined into the metal chain is still very smooth, and it's not looking dry or anything. There's no tarnish on the chain or at the this so-called grommets over here. There's no tarnish. Everything's still looking really good. Yeah, so I mean, for my Chanel lambskin, I'm quite happy with the wear and tear. Again, as I said, I try to be careful with this lambskin handbag when I'm out and about, but I don't I'm not to the point of babying it, so I would say the lambskin is not as fragile as some of the people online would say that it is. And as I said before, any surface scratches can be buffed out easily with, you know, fingers and a bit of our natural oil. It is deeper scratches that would cause, you know, more concern, but that's the same with caviar leather as well. So with caviar, if there is, you know, a deep scratch, it's likely that that scratch is just going to stay there because you can't buff it out, you can't do anything about it. I would say both leather is the same case in that situation. So overall, I'm very happy with how my Chanel lambskin hold up for, you know, almost 5 years. It's not as fragile as some people would think. Even though it is prone to scratches, a lot of the artificial surface scratches can be easily buffed out using fingers or a microfiber cloth. With deeper scratches, it would not be able to buff it out. However, once it develops a bit of patina, it will not be as noticeable, I would think. I think it's probably the same with caviar leather, because when I purchased the bag, the essay was telling me with caviar, you know, even the surface scratches, once there is a scratch on the caviar skin, you are not able to buff it out like the lambskin. It will, you know, remain there, you know, for the life of the handbag. So in that regard, I think the lambskin is better than a caviar in terms of artificial scratches can be easily buffed out using our fingers and natural oil. You know, for my bag, which is almost 5 years old, it's holding up really good. The leather is holding up really good. It's not losing, you know, its shine. The structure of the bag is holding its shape. The hardware, there's no tarnishing. There's a bit of hairline scratches on the front CC lock, but that is just due to normal wear and tear, which is okay. The stitching is still looking perfect. There's no loose stitch or stitches, you know, fraying or anything like that. So overall, I'm really happy, And of course, to keep your bag in absolute pristine condition, proper storage is very important. So I always tuck the chain inside my handbag when I'm not using it, and keep my bag in its original dust bag, and I store it sitting upright, so never lay your handbag flat like that, because it will make the quilt on the bag deflated sooner. Yes, so overall I'm very happy with the wear and tear of my Chanel Classic Flap.